Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith released on May 19th, 2005, and over the years has become a fan favorite. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Now in 2025, it's the 20th anniversary, and over the 20 years, LEGO has released a lot of sets based on the movie. So today, I'm going to be ranking every Revenge of the Sith LEGO set. So starting at number 51, I have Darth Vader's transformation, which released in 2005. The build gets the process down of transforming Anakin into Darth Vader with a nice swirling technique, and you just place both minifigures on each side. The build doesn't really stand out in any way other than the play features. It doesn't really look the best. Just a very simple build with not much detail. It does come with a nice side droid build with some arms with medical tools and stuff. It's just a very simple set that just gets the job done with doing Vader's transformation in a simple way. Moving on to number 50, I have the Vulture Droid Microfighter, which released in 2015. It comes with one pilot battle droid that you can sit on the Vulture Droid. I do like the Vulture Droid's look, and I like how you can move the wings up and down just like when it's standing and in flight mode position. And overall, as far as microfighters go, I think it looks very good. In terms of the Revenge of the Sith microfighters, which we'll get into the rest, I think it's not the best. It has some detail and some play features with some flick fire missiles. Overall, this is a solid microfighter and does capture the look of a Vulture Droid. At number 49, I have the Droid Tri-Fighter, which released in 2005. I like all the details and logo and symbols that are on the ship. I do not like the eye area with the red eyes, how that kind of just sticks out. I think it was improved upon a little bit in the future Droid Tri-Fighters, but I don't think it looks the greatest here. The set comes with one Buzz Droid, so there is a lack of minifigures, whether it's droids or just characters in general for, the Battle of Coruscant, so you just get the Tri-Fighter. It's definitely not the best LEGO Tri-Fighter and doesn't look the best in terms of, the cannons on the top and each side just being held by clips and just a very simple look. I know this came out in 2005, so it was improved upon, but just this set itself, and especially not coming with any minifigures, and that definitely could have helped. I think it gets the shape down, and it just looks okay, and is not the best Tri-Fighter. Moving on to number 48, I have the buildable Yoda, which released in 2019. Now, obviously, I'm going to start with probably the worst thing about this set, and that is the head area with the eyes. The eyes do not look good at all. They look like they are staring into your soul, and definitely very creepy to just look at them. Now, the rest of Yoda does look pretty good. I like the use of the pieces on the back to show his gray hair. The lightsaber looks good as well. I think that the UCS Yoda that came out in 2002 looks a tad bit better than this. I really like the use of stacking the bricks on the old one that gives the robe a more smoother look, whereas this one, it's just all the studs outside. I think if there were a lot more slopes to make it a more smoother look, it definitely would have looked better. But the face area is definitely what brings this set down. At number 47, I have the ARC 170 Microfighter, which released in 2015. It comes with one pilot minifigure, which looks good. I really like the helmet and torso printing. The microfighter actually looks really good. I like the printed pieces on the front, and it captures the look. There are 3 translucent pieces to act as the cockpits, and I like the use of the lever piece for the back turret. It definitely is a very compact, small build. Maybe the wings could have been at least maybe one more stud wide, just so it could have that lengthy feel of the ARC 170. But other than that, I think this is a solid microfighter and one of the best, with a lot of detail for such a small build. Next up at 46, I have the Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter. This set's pretty special because it comes with one regular Phase 2 Clone Trooper in the old style. LEGO did recently release the regular Phase 2 in the 2020 version clones that we now get. I really like the way that this Turbo Tank looks, especially in this size and scale. I think it works. I really like the use of the binocular pieces in the front for some weapons, and the lever piece again for the back turret like the ARC 170. And then there is a flick fire missile on each side, so this small microfighter is really packed with weaponry. For the microfighter scale, this looks like a really good turbo tank, and it comes with an excellent minifigure. Coming in at number 45, I have the V-Wing Fighter, which released in 2006. The cockpit and rear area of this ship looks really good with some detail, and I really like the laser cannons on each side. My main gripe with this specific V-Wing is the front end. The V-Wing in the movie has a very pointy nose of the ship. This one is not really as pointy. It looks like it's converging towards the end, but it kind of stops at the end. And really a little bit of the midsection to the nose just looks flat. Overall, it does look like the V-Wing, it's just the nose of the ship doesn't look that good to me. Moving on to number 44, I have the Clone Scout Walker, which released in 2005. I really like the top area. My favorite part is probably the cannon on the front. It's one of the better builds from the ATRTs that LEGO has released. My least favorite part is probably the feet with just the usage piece. You know, there's really nothing in the piece itself, so it looks just empty. Even back then, if LEGO had just made maybe like a 3-toed foot for the ATRT, I think it would have looked better than just the piece that they used. But even then, it doesn't look terrible. And then the legs just use a lot of grill pieces for detail, and I do overall like the look of it. A lot of detail, especially on the top end where the clone trooper can sit, and it does come with one clone trooper, which is nice. Coming in at number 43, I have the General Grievous Starfighter. This one came out in 2007, and it has one of the earlier versions of the General Grievous minifigure with his mold and just the 4 droid arms, 2 on each side. Now onto the Starfighter. I think the overall shape looks really good. I think it's just the detail and the different pieces used for the design. Obviously, this came out in 2007, so you know, the design and build techniques are not going to be like they are today. In universe and on screen, it's a very compact ship, and this one looks a little bit elongated, especially in the cockpit area compared to the wing size on each side. There's just a lot of space, and the cockpit does look a little bit longer than what it looks like on screen. Overall, this is a good build for 2007, and obviously later General Grievous Starfighters improved as they should. At number 42, I have the V-Wing that released in 2014. This is the second iteration of the Republic V-Wing. Like the past iteration of the V-Wing, it's pretty much the same deal here, where the back half where the cockpit is and the engine area is what I really like about this set, but the pointy nose of the ship is definitely my dislike, and this one honestly looks a little bit worse than the previous one, but the midsection and cockpit area has a lot more detail that I think gave this one the edge a little bit. The set comes with a pilot minifigure and an astromech droid. Both look really good with the printing and the helmet mold for the clone pilot. Though the nose isn't as sharp and pointy as I would like it to be, here I like that it's all connected. The main gripe with the previous V-Wing was that it kind of ended towards the end and then had a smaller section in the middle, whereas this one just ends at the front, so it just feels more connected, and I just like more detail, and I like the cannons on each side. This V-Wing does look really good, and it has some good detail. Coming in at number 41, I have the Imperial V-Wing, which released in 2011. You see the V-Wing at the end of Revenge of the Sith when the Republic is becoming the Empire, and they've lost, you know, all the color and just became all gray. I think this one has the best overall shape. It does look, has that point at the nose, and the cockpit area looks great as well. So I think overall this one is the most complete. The laser cannon sections on each wing is probably my least favorite part about this set. It's really just 2 cone pieces, and there's really no detail around them. But other than that, it doesn't take away from the ship at all. I still really like the overall look, especially in its landing position. It looks great. I think this is just the best V-Wing overall. Next, at number 40, I have the Jedi Interceptor. This one released in 2014 and is Anakin's Jedi Interceptor in the yellow color scheme. The overall design is really good with some good detail. I like the laser cannons in the middle, and then of course there's a spot for R2D2. There's even a small little 1x1 stud with a printed Republic logo, which looks good. This is a solid Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, and this set does come with Anakin and R2D2. The printed cockpit piece looks good as always. Next up at number 39, I have the Vulture Droid. This one released in 2014, and I really like how it comes with a few extra figs for the Vulture Droid. It comes with a Battle Droid pilot, a Buzz Droid, and an Amoidian Warrior, so it's cool to get some extra figs for a, you know, Vulture Droid. The Buzz Droid is very good and is definitely an upgrade from the one that was in 2005. I like all the markings and Separatist logos on the Vulture Droid. LEGO didn't forget about any, and of course, you know, I like when it's in flying mode and when the Vulture Droid is standing. The Vulture Droid does have a lot of light blue pieces, and when researching for this video, I was rewatching Revenge of the Sith, the opening scene in the Battle of Coruscant, and I couldn't really tell exactly what color they were because it was just the lighting of space and the sun, so I couldn't tell, you know, if they had a darker blue tinge to it. So maybe it would have looked better if this was a darker blue mixed with the dark bluish gray, but the light blue doesn't look bad at all, but maybe I would prefer a more darker blue. I do do like the weapon details on each wing of the Vulture droid, and overall this definitely does get the look, and I like the inclusion of some extra minifigures. At number 38, I have General Grievous's wheel bike. This one also released in 2014, and I just really love the design of the build and all the detail. Starting with the minifigures, it comes with Obi-Wan and General Grievous. Obi-Wan looks good with all his printing, and he does come with a blaster just like when they fight. And then General Grievous is definitely the highlight of this set. This is an excellent General Grievous minifigure and is the more improved upon and upgraded version to the classic look. The wheel bike looks really good, especially the midsection is definitely my favorite. I just really love the detail going around the wheel, and then it looks good even when all four legs are out and standing, and then there is a seat for General Grievous to sit. This is just such an excellent looking build, and I just really love the detail. This is a really unique vehicle in Star Wars, and I feel like this Lego set did a really good job at getting the look and shape. I did some research, and I don't think that this set can exactly roll perfectly. I think pieces will fall off. This set also does not include Obi-Wan's lightsaber, which he didn't have it in this scene, but just to, give him one. And secondly, I think this set would have definitely been ranked higher if it included Obi-Wan's mount as well. Next up at number 37, I have Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. This one came out in 2020 and has some minor differences from the previous one that I do think are a little bit better. The laser cannons in the middle are built different. The other ones were black with some Technic pieces. These are dark bluish gray with some Technic pieces as well, but I think these just look a little bit better, and then there is some more detail under each wing on each side of the ship. The minifigure selection is the same, coming with Anakin and R2-D2, though Anakin is a bit different with the face print having his mic printed on. What's a little bit weird about this Anakin minifigure as well is he's wearing his headset, so this is obviously when he's flying his Jedi Interceptor in the Battle of Coruscant, yet he has the same printing that the Anakin minifigure does in the duel on Mustafar with Obi-Wan, where his robe is a little bit tattered from all the flames, so a little bit of an inconsistency and not really accurate. But like the previous Jedi Interceptor, this set still looks really good with the improvements that I said earlier. The cockpit piece printed looks great as well, and the overall shape and design is good with a lot of detail. Next up at number 36, I have Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. This one released in 2016, but is very similar to Anakin's, which released in 2020. They both have the same laser cannons in the middle, but Obi-Wan's is in an all-black color. This set comes with Obi-Wan and R4. Obi-Wan, like Anakin, has his headset printed on the face and just has his normal Jedi robes. The Interceptor has a few more details, like on the wings, how it has stickers on both sides for some extra detail, which that was just Obi-Wan's Interceptor different from Anakin's. His was definitely just more of a yellow color scheme with not really much detail, and I do like the way Obi-Wan's looks. I also like some of the just minor differences, like near the cockpit piece with the use of the slope pieces. That's a little different than Anakin's. Both are definitely ranked really closely. I just gave the edge to Obi-Wan's just for some a little extra detail that it came with, and Obi-Wan being a lot more accurate to the scene that he's in, and just some minor differences between the sets. At number 35 is the Duel on Mustafar, which came out in 2020 and has a fun little build with some play features so you can have Anakin and Obi-Wan fight. Both minifigures look really good. I really love the printing on both of their robes of how it's tattered and damaged. The build is probably not the best display, but of course that's not what this set is offering. It's offering a very fun playset to have the duel at the end of Revenge of the Sith, so I do really like the different play features, especially with the platforms that you can move around as they lightsaber fight, and some of the other platforms that can break down so they could fight on those as well. I like how the actual build can open up and it can become a longer build, so you can have different variations of the fight. So I really like what this set has to offer. It comes with two great minifigures, and it's a very nice, fun little set to recreate one of the most iconic lightsaber battles. At number 34, I have Darth Vader's transformation, the one that released in 2017, so this is a massive upgrade than the very last set on this list. I just really love the detail on the actual table that you transform Darth Vader in, and I really love the minifigure selection as well. There's a lot more that comes in this set, and it just looks better overall, so you can display it. So there's a lot better with this one than the previous one. I like the design, and I really love some of the techniques used, especially the floor for under the table, so this is definitely an upgrade from the previous one, coming with some good minifigures and a good build. Next up at number 33 is the Droid Tri-Fighter. This one released in 2014, and like the Darth Vader transformation version we just talked about, this is a massive upgrade from the one earlier on this list. Starting with the minifigs, you get 2 battle droids, a buzz droid, and Palpatine. I like the addition of Palpatine just so you get these characters from the Battle of Coruscant, and even though he doesn't relate to this set, it relates to the Battle of Coruscant, so it's nice just getting extra minifigures for, you know, the main build. The build looks really good with a lot more detail and a lot more different techniques to just make it look better overall. The red eyes on the droid Tri-Fighter definitely look better on this build. The colors are better as well, going more with the dark blue and mixed with dark bluish gray. This is a good set, coming with a good designed build and a few extra minifigures to play with. Coming in at number 32 is the Revenge of the Sith Heroes and Villains Brickheads. This just came out in 2025 and I am a big fan of every single one of them. This is a nice collective pack to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Each one is really well designed. I especially love Anakin and the way his hair was built. The design just looks perfect, and I like how you can interchange his eyes to his Sith ones as well, so you can display it in many different ways. And then General Grievous just looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the detail and design on him to make him, you know, really look like his cybernetic body. There's a few things I don't really like with Padme. I wish they would have added maybe a slope for her stomach to add, you know, to make it look like she is pregnant, but it's just a flat tiled piece, as this is when she goes to Mustafar. And then with Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, you know, his most common robe was the red robe that he fought with Mace Windu, who also comes in this set, so if you wanted to recreate that, it won't be entirely accurate, but later on he does have his black robe at the end of the movie, so I think LEGO just went with the iconic one. I think this is one of the better Brickhead sets. I think each one just looks really good and are well designed. Moving on to number 31 is the Republic Swamp Speeder. I really like the build on this one. I think this is the best Swamp Speeder that LEGO has made due to size and detail. Swamp Speeders recently have been included in battle packs, so the builds are smaller, so it's cool looking at this one that is a more bigger size. Comes with Barriss Offria, Clone Trooper, 2 battle droids, and a super battle droid, so there's a lot to play with and you can create battles with this. I always like when sets include minifigures from both sides so you can create a battle. I really like the laser cannons at the front, and then there's 2 seats for the Clone Troopers to sit with plenty of space around them. There are wheels under the Swamp Speeder so it can move around on a surface. This is a solid playset that comes with some good minifigures and a good build. At number 30 is the Battle of Seleucami. This is another one where I just really love what comes in this set. It comes with 1 Bark Trooper, or at least it's labeled as Bark Trooper, but this is probably Commander Neo, as the minifigure looks like him. 2 battle droids and 2 super battle droids, so it does come with a pretty good sizable droid force to battle the Bark Trooper on the Bark Speeder. This is one of the better Bark Speeders in terms of size and detail, and I do really like it. Aside from the Bark Speeder, the second build is a nice fortification with a lot of plant pieces for the droids to hide behind and attack the Bark Speeder. I really love the use of the plant pieces and just the detail overall. There is also a stab for one of the battle droids to use against the Bark Speeder. These builds are just a recipe to make a good battle, and I really love what's included in this set. Next up is the Wookiee Catamaran. I actually really like the build and design. It also comes with a Swamp Speeder on the side, so there's a lot packed into this set. The Clone Troopers look excellent with the green color on them. Also comes with Chewbacca, a Wookiee Warrior, Luminara, Unduli, and Yoda. So there's a lot of minifigures packed into this set. There's a lot to play around with, and like I said, I think the build looks really fun. It's a really unique vehicle to get in LEGO, and I think LEGO did a good job, especially with this releasing in 2005. The Swamp Speeder also looks good. It's definitely a smaller version than the Swamp Speeder we talked about earlier, less detailed than most Swamp Speeders that LEGO has released, but still has the overall shape and look, and I do like the laser cannons on the front, and it's a nice side build to get with the main Wookiee vehicle. Next up at number 28, I have General Grievous' Starfighter, the one that came out in 2020. This is an excellent looking General Grievous' Starfighter. Pretty much everything was improved upon from the previous one. I like the shaping more and the more big slope and angled pieces to really get the shape and details. It comes with 3 minifigures in General Grievous, Obi-Wan, and an airborne clone trooper, which looks really good as well. Starting with General Grievous, this is just an excellent General Grievous, the same one that we've been getting for a while, the more improved upon version from the classic. Comes with all 4 lightsabers. Now Obi-Wan's getting the same treatment as Anakin from earlier this video, where his robes are the tattered version that he has in the 2020 duel on Mustafar, so it's a little bit of an inconsistency here too, where his robes wouldn't be tattered, so weird choice by LEGO. The 212th Airborne Trooper is fantastic. This is back when we would get physical waist capes, which I really wish we get again one day, but this is just an excellent looking Airborne Trooper and is a nice addition to this set. Overall, this is a really good set. set with an excellent build, 3 great minifigures. Yeah, the price was horrendous for this set, but I don't like to consider price. I like to rank just off the set alone. I thought I'd mention that just in case anyone was wondering. Up next at number 27, I have the Droid Battle Pack, which released in 2007. This is the only Droid Battle Pack that's by itself. There was the most recent clone and Droid Battle Pack. Anyways, this one comes with a troop carrier and a bunch of droids to collect. There is also a stab, so this is a very nice battle pack that just gets you all kinds of things to add to your droid army, and of course a lot of droids. So this battle pack does what a battle pack does, and it does it perfectly. Moving on to number 26, I have the General Grievous Chase, which released in 2005. This is another wheel bike, but it also comes with the mount that Obi-Wan rides, and it's a pretty good-looking mold for 2005. The bike does not look bad at all. Definitely some things I like. I definitely like the printing on the actual wheel itself. General Grievous being the classic one, but I really love the inclusion of his cape, which looks really good. I'm always a fan of combo sets, so having Obi-Wan's mount and the wheel bike is just so much fun, and you can recreate the chase scene from Revenge of the Sith, and I feel like you can't have one without the other, and this is a good combo set. Next is the ARC 170 in 2005. I like the overall design. There's a few things like the front nose of the ship with the slit down in the middle from the 2 slope pieces, which is, it looks okay, but it would have been smooth, and that's what future ARC 170s improved upon. But this one's pretty good. It comes with 3 pilot minifigures, which is great to fill out those 3 cockpits. The wings and the size of this set is definitely very good from the most recent one that's pretty sized down. It has all the play features needed, like the back turret and of course the S-foils going up in attack position for the wings. And overall, this is a good looking ARC 170. Next up at number 24, I have the Clone Trooper Battle Pack. This one released in 2007 alongside the 2007 Droid Battle Pack, and this is, what started it all the clone battle packs to come. This is the blueprint, and it comes with a nice speeder bike and a small turret for the clones to use. Each clone is just very good in that classic 2005 style. And like the Droid Battle Pack, it does its purpose perfectly, coming with some vehicles and of course the clone troopers to build up your clone army. And it's just a classic set. Coming in at number 23, I have the Jedi Starfighter with Vulture Droid. This one released in 2005, and it comes with Anakin's Jedi Interceptor plus a Vulture Droid. This is another combo set that I really like, coming with 2 Starfighters that you can just play around with and swoosh around and have unlimited fun with. Coming with Anakin and the head of R2-D2 to attach to the Starfighter. The actual Jedi Interceptor gets the look down. Not that much detail as this was in 2005. Both builds work really well together, so you can just have swooshability and recreate, some dogfights from the Battle of Coruscant, and I'm always a big fan of combo sets. Next up at 22 is the Wookiee Attack, and this set does include a lot of stuff. Vehicle, a spider droid, a droid tank, a couple of battle droids, and a couple of Wookiees, so you can really love the Battle of Kashyyyk. I just love when sets come with multiple things to play around with, and especially, like I said earlier, when you have opposing sides, so you can just have a battle with them. Definitely using those old style colors like the light blue and the orange for this set, but it looks good. It doesn't look bad at all, and the Wookiee Flyer definitely is just really love the playability and everything that comes in the set. At number 21 is the AT-AP. This is the first iteration, coming in 2008. I like the cannons on the top. There's space for a trooper to mount on one of them. One thing I noticed was that the midsection definitely is tilted down. Could just be the weight and design of the build, and future iterations did improve upon that where it's more up. I think that's definitely something I noticed with this set. Same with the midsection. I tried to compare it to the other iterations, and this one just looks a little bit too wide to me, but it still looks good and comes with 2 clone troopers who in that classic look looks good as well. There is an interior space to where you can fit both clone troopers inside, which is very good. One last thing is I do like how the main cannon does look like it's protruding outside from the midsection, which is pretty accurate to the actual vehicle. And I think this AT-AP has that accurate look the most. Moving on to number 20, I have the Ultimate Lightsaber Duel. I really do like this set. I like the overall build, that there's a lot of space that you can fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and I like the play feature as well. Because there was the Duel on Mustafar that came out in 2020, and I do consider this one a better one. It definitely does look like a better display. I like the size of the set too. Now, the background with that little platform in the back definitely is my least favorite part. It just kind of looks undetailed. There's really nothing there, but it's the actual arena part in the front that's definitely the highlight. And like I said, I love the space, I love the play feature, and I like how you have all this room to recreate Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight, and I definitely want LEGO to make another set like this in the future. At number 19 is the most recent ARC 170 that LEGO has released. Starting with the biggest thing about this set is the downsizing. This set, compared to the previous ARC 170s, is smaller, and that seems to be the most recent trend with LEGO Star Wars recently, and it definitely is a bit of a disappointment. But apart from that, this still looks like a good ARC 170 with a lot of detail, and it comes with 3 amazing pilot minifigures, probably the best that we've gotten. The features are still really good with the S-foils going into attack position, and it still looks very accurate, and then all 3 cockpits look great. There are a lot of stickers in this set, and my main gripe is the stickers on the cockpit piece. It just does not turn out well. It's like a different shade of color once you attach it to the cockpit piece. Laser cannons on each wing are definitely way too short compared to the actual vehicle, so there's definitely things that LEGO could have done better with this set. But I do really like the look of it, and it does have a lot of accurate things. Some things that can be improved upon, but I do think that it is the second best that LEGO has released, and it just comes with some excellent minifigures as well. At number 18 is the Clone Scoutwalker 20th Anniversary Edition. This came out in 2019. I really love the minifigure selection and the builds that you get in this set. This is an updated ATRT and still in the big scale that the most recent ATRTs are in, but it still looks good with a lot of detail. My favorite build of this, though, is the trench with the turret. It just looks really good, and I love the use of this rock piece to make the trench, and I think the turret build is pretty good as well. The homing spider droid is pretty much the same design as other ones. This was the time when it was using a stud shooter as the main turret, and it just always looked a bit odd, and I don't really like it. With everything included, it makes a good playset. Up next is the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack, which released in 2014. It comes with 2 regular Kashyyyk Troopers and 2 Kashyyyk Scout Troopers, so a nice variation with those, and it comes with a Swamp Speeder. Now, starting with the Swamp Speeder, I'm not necessarily biggest fan of this build. This is an example where the Swamp Speeder is used as a battle pack set, and this one doesn't have the best detail, and I do not like the cannons on this one because you pretty much just attach 2 of the stud blasters. And I think a brick built laser cannon would just have been better all around, but the minifigures of this set are definitely what propel it. They are just phenomenal with excellent printing, and they definitely fit the vibe for Kashyyyk, and this is just such an awesome battle pack. Next up is the Droid Gunship, which released in 2014. I overall like the look of the build. The minifigure selection is really good, coming with one of those Kashyyyk Scout Troopers, Chewbacca, a battle droid, and a super battle droid, so overall a solid minifigure selection. Now the actual Droid Gunship, I like the detail on the front section with the ball turrets. It looks really good. The midsection top part definitely is my least favorite part with that light blue color, kind of just being really out there compared to the dark blue of the Droid Gunship, so just definitely looks a little off to me, but overall the set gets the shape and multiple details, and like I said, I really love the head section of this Droid Gunship. Next up at number 15 is the Homing Spider Droid. This build looks really good and pretty accurate. I really love the turrets on both the top and bottom. The bottom turret probably isn't the most accurate looking to the Homing Spider Droid, but it does make for a good play feature with you being able to fire those studs in a mini gun-like action, so definitely a fun play feature there. There was also a Dwarf Spider Droid included in this set, and like I said earlier in this video for another set that had it, it's really just the laser cannon at the front of it that looks off using that stud shooter. And lastly, the minifigure selection is great as well, coming with 2 regular battle droids, a Kashyyyk Trooper, and Yoda, so pretty even matched. Yoda could probably take out both of these vehicles pretty easily, and you know, with the help of the Kashyyyk Trooper, so definitely makes for a good play set, and the Homing Spider Droid does look good. At number 14 is the AT-AP. This is the one that released in 2014, making it the second one that LEGO has released. The minifigure selection here is great, especially the Commander Gree. One of the best clone troopers that LEGO has released. The printing is just phenomenal. The AT-AP here is definitely a massive upgrade from the first one in both accuracy and overall design. There is an interior space with 2 seats for the clone troopers. Unfortunately, this set only comes with Commander Gree, so 1 seat will be left empty. The AT-AP looking more up, whereas the old one definitely was a lot more droopy, and the midsection is definitely an improvement. The 2 cannons more detailed look is definitely an improvement as well. But yeah, this is a really good set. Comes with some great looking minifigures. Would have loved 1 more clone so you could at least fill out the clone vehicle. But the AT-AP is done good here. Moving on to number 13, I have the UCS General Grievous. Now, this is a very good looking General Grievous. I feel like it still holds up today, especially with all the more buildable droids that we've been getting. This General Grievous does look really good. I just really love the design and detail, especially the claw feet at the bottom. I think they look very accurate. And the midsection showing a little bit of that translucent green in the middle for his like organic parts of his body. I think the head design looks really accurate, especially using a grill piece at the bottom of his face mask for those like 4 lines of detail that are on General Grievous. I think that was a perfect piece to use. And overall, this is a really good looking General Grievous. I really like how menacing the model looks as well. This just looks like a great display. Moving on next is the Utapau Troopers Battle Pack, which released in 2014, and this is another example of some excellent clone troopers and probably some of the best that LEGO has released. It comes with 2 212 airborne troopers and 2 regular 212 clone troopers, and each one looks absolutely phenomenal. The 2 airborne troopers do have physical waist capes, which just elevates the clone troopers. The build in this set is actually a very miniature tri-droid, which is definitely very cool for a battle pack because you get a droid force for the clones to attack. So not only are you building up your clone army, but you can build up a couple of vehicles for the droids as well. So this is almost a 2-in-1, but this battle pack does do its job perfectly, and this is just an overall excellent battle pack. Next up is the 2019 droid gunship. This one is an all-around improvement, especially in the mid section on the top of the droid gunship. I really love the detail here and the more accurate look. The head or front of the droid gunship still looks detailed as the past one. The minifigures are 2 Kashyyyk battle droids, Chief Tarful and Yoda. Both minifigure selections were great for the previous one and this one. Maybe I would go with the last one because it did come with one of those excellent Kashyyyk clone scout troopers, but this one is still very good. But I will take this droid gunship because it is a more accurate and detailed look. Entering the top 10 now, starting with number 10, is the Jedi Starfighter with Hyperdrive Ring. This one came out in 2007, and I just am an absolute fan of both builds. I do really like the blue color scheme, and I really love the Hyperdrive Ring design, and I think it really gets the look down, and it's pretty accurate. The Jedi Interceptor looks really good as well, with a lot of detail, and the printed cockpiece is always good. It also comes with a Kit Fisto minifigure, which is just a great addition. If it had just came with Obi-Wan, it still would have been a good set, but just having another extra minifigure goes a long way. Both builds fit perfectly, and especially for 2007, this Hyperdrive Ring looks really good. Moving on to number 9, I have Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, which released in 2012. This is the Interceptor they took to Mustafar in that green color scheme. The actual build is really detailed. I do like the way that this Interceptor looks, and I like the laser cannons and the wings on each side. There's also 2 platforms that are in this set that you can have Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on, just like in the movies. So already there's extra things to play with in this set. Next, there's also a battle droid security and Newt Gunray. So there you can have Anakin fight them as well. So there's like 3 things that you can do with this set. You have the Interceptor, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, and Anakin versus the Separatist forces. So it's a really all-in-one set, and that's what I really like about it. I like what this set has to offer, and it just has a lot of playability. At number 8 is Emperor Palpatine's shuttle. Shuttle design gets the overall shaping and look down, though I don't think it holds up today as some of these other sets do. The interior space on the inside definitely is a real highlight for this set. There is some space in there for minifigures, and to transform Anakin into Darth Vader, it's obviously not accurate as it happens on Coruscant, but it's a nice play feature to add. I think the lack of tiles hinders this set a little bit. I had seen a picture of a full tiled Emperor Palpatine shuttle, and it definitely did look very good. But like I said, this one does get the overall shape, is a good looking shuttle, could definitely have been better, and has a pretty solid minifigure selection and some pretty cool play features. With the transformation and of course the wings folding up and down, whether in flight or landing position. Moving on to number 7, I have the Ultimate Space Battle. I believe this was an exclusive at Target, and like the name suggests, this really is the Ultimate Space Battle. It comes with 2 Vulture droids, a Tri-Droid, and of course Anakin's and Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. I mean, that is a lot, and it is just awesome to see that many ships in in one set. Especially for today, it's kind of crazy seeing this many builds in one. There are even some buzz droids to add to the play, which is very cool. So this is definitely really the ultimate space battle, and I love how what comes in the set lives up to its name. Now the Vulture droids and Tri droids, I said earlier in this video, these are the same ones that had released back then, so I wasn't really a fan of the light blue color, but with this set, it's a combo set, so everything adds up and it's just one big play set. This is definitely a set that I'd love LEGO to remake with all updated designs for each ship. Moving on to number 6, I have the Clone Turbo Tank, which released in 2016. One thing about this Turbo Tank was it was a little downsized compared to the other two that LEGO had released, and that one had always bothered me with this specific one. Now, I do like all the detail on the side panels going around the Turbo Tank. On the top are the multiple turrets and survey tower. That survey tower probably is the least favorite thing about this set. It's not the best looking. The other Turbo Tank iterations definitely had better looking ones. The other gripe that I do have with this set that I never liked was the interior space within the midsection. With every other Turbo Tank, there was always some room for some extra troops. In this one, you fit the AT-RT in there, and that takes up pretty much majority of the space. There is some interior space in the front and back that you can fit a clone trooper or two. The Turbo Tank in universe is one of the biggest troop carriers for the Republic. That's always something that I want for the LEGO Turbo Tank, but I think overall that the exterior does look pretty good. I do like the minifigures. It comes with Luminara Unduli, Quinlan Voss, Commander Gree, a Kashyyyk Trooper, and 2 battle droids, so there's a lot in this set to play with. I would have loved maybe one more clone trooper, as this is a clone vehicle. And this set does come with one of the more close to minifigure scale AT-RT builds that LEGO has released, so that's always cool to see. Do love what this set comes with, a lot to play with, and a good looking Turbo Tank, but there was just a lot that could have been improved upon. At number 5, I have Palpatine's Arrest, which came out in 2012, and this set is really good. First off, it has the perfect minifigure selection, not leaving a single character out. It has Agan Kolar, Chancellor Palpatine, Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Saesee Tiin, if that's how you pronounce it, and of course Anakin. So you can recreate the scene perfectly. And then I also really love the look of the build too. I love the addition of the landing pad with the vehicle that Anakin uses to get to Palpatine's office. It's a nice little detail and adds a little extra play feature. And then the actual office itself, I really like the layout and the detail. There's plenty of space to fit every minifigure, and I really like Palpatine's actual chair and desk area with the 2 chairs and of course his main area. So it does look very good. And I think this would be a perfect diorama set if LEGO were to ever remake it, but this is just such a fun set that comes with everything you need. Moving on to number 4 is the AT-AP, the 2019 version, so this is the latest one, and it's pretty much almost similar to the 2014 one, just with some minor upgrades. I do love the minifigure selection here more, which definitely gave me the edge, and the overall build as well. There's just a few different details. So this set does come with a Kashyyyk clone trooper along with Commander Gree, so you can actually fill out the AT-AP, which is good. I also really like the interior space with the control panels and the screen showing the droid gunship. Commander Gree is still one of the best clone troopers that LEGO has released. The printing is phenomenal, and the actual AT-AP still looks really good. Like I said, there's minor differences like on the legs compared to the 2014 version, but overall they are about the same build, but still both look great. So add that with a heightened minifigure selection, and I definitely like this set a lot more. At number 3 is the ARC 170 that released in 2010. I think this version is the best, coming with 2 pilot minifigures, so sadly they didn't come with 3 to fill out the cockpits, but it does come with an astromech and Kit Fisto, so there was a minifigure replacement at least, so they didn't just leave one out. The actual ARC 170 though is really good. First off, the laser cannons look very long compared to the newest one, so that is good as well, and the size is what's really good with this one. The wings and S-foils look great, and I do love the midsection as well. I think this ARC 170 just has the right size and just has a lot of accuracy and just looks great. Moving on to number 2 is the ATTE, which released in 2022. This is a massive upgrade from the 2013 ATTE, coming with a full interior that can actually fit a couple of clones, at least 6 to 7, which is really cool, plus the cockpit adding 2 extra seats for clone troopers. The set comes with a lot of minifigures too, coming with the first ever Commander Cody Phase 2, which looks very good, 3 212 troopers, a clone gunner, so there's a lot of clones already to fill out the ATTE. AT-TE, which is perfect. And then on the droid side, there's 3 droids and a dwarf spider droid. Now, this set is based on Utapau, where there weren't dwarf spider droids, but there were the crab droids, so that definitely is a missed opportunity by LEGO, but at least this dwarf spider droid isn't the one that has the stud shooter for the cannon. It is actually a brick-built cannon that does look good. So the AT-AT exterior-wise is pretty much almost one-to-one with the 2013 one, just with some minor detail upgrades. So, and the 2013 one already did look good, so this one overall looks better. And plus adding the interior space, this is a really good AT-TE. And at number 1 is the 2005 Turbo Tank. First off, I really love what comes in the set, coming with a lot of accessories like a turret build, a speeder bike for the clones, and a lot of minifigures. There are 2 droids with a small turret to fight, even though they're vastly outnumbered. It comes with Mace Windu, which is a nice addition. You do get a lot of clone troopers to fill this Turbo Tank out. Now onto the Turbo Tank. The exterior looks really good with some detail, especially on top, and I love the little tower that does pop out. This is probably one of the best towers on the Turbo Tanks. Only a better look than the 2016 one. The midsection does have a pretty good amount of space for some clone troopers to fit in there, plus the front and back opening up so you can fit at least another clone trooper. The Turbo Tank gets the look down, and I just really love the accessories like and those extra builds, and the minifigure selection is really good, coming with a lot so you can play with a lot. Anyways, that is my full ranking of every LEGO Star Wars Revenge of the Sith set. This was a pretty hard video to make as there's just so many sets to rank, and you know, some are just really close together, but definitely let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything. I always like hearing what you have to say. Definitely lightsaber slash that like button and hit subscribe with post notifications on so you know when I upload. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.